Coming up next on Bear News, we'll let you know that very special guest that came to campus last week.
UNC football was back in action this past weekend for their annual spring game. I'll have full highlights later on in sports.
And we'll have an upcoming look at your graduation forecast coming up in weather.
We've got all that and more on this episode of Bear News. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us on Bear News. I'm Becca Heath.
And I'm Kristen Skovlich. It has been over 70 years since the Holocaust brought devastation to the world. Estelle Laughlin shines light on the inhumane mistakes people made by reminding UNC students and members of the Greeley community of the Holocaust. Imagine surviving a wicked and endless cycle of horror. This is exactly what Estelle Laughlin, an 84-year-old Holocaust survivor, has experienced in her life. Estelle spoke about her experiences during the Holocaust during the annual memorial observances of Greeley. The UC ballrooms were filled to capacity, including standing room only, with people excited to hear Estelle speak. Estelle gave a first-hand perspective of her survival of the Warsaw Ghetto and concentration camps as a child.
Virtually cut off from the world and everything that was happening in it. They isolated us in a tiny ghetto. The purpose here is not to curse the darkness of the past, but to illuminate the future.
Although Estelle has seen far more terrible things than many of us can even imagine, she still maintains a positive outlook on life and has faith in humanity.
The University of Northern Colorado will be holding their 124th spring commencement ceremonies for their graduates on May 9th and 10th. On May 9th, the graduate student commencement will take place at Beller Hancock Sports Pavilion, beginning at 7 p.m. Undergraduate commencement ceremony starts at 10 a.m. at Nottingham Field the following day. The 2014 spring commencement is open to the public. No tickets are required for entrance. 1,996 students are receiving undergraduate degrees. The university will be welcoming Daniel Augustine, two-time UNC alum, to encourage students with a commencement speech. Augustine received a master's degree in art from UNC in 1985. He taught for 32 years in Greeley Public Schools and now is retired as a full-time artist. UNC will be celebrating its diversity this spring by representing 15 countries with exchange students, 40 states, and 43 counties at the ceremony. The average age range for undergraduates receiving degrees is between 19 and 66. We want to take a minute to congratulate the graduating seniors. This is truly a huge accomplishment. In particular, we would want to congratulate the graduating members of our Bear News staff. You have all made these past few years very special. Thank you.
Spread the Word to End the Word is a campaign to stop the use of the R word and to raise awareness of mental disabilities. Bear News anchor Becca Heath has more on the petition.
Spread the Word to End the Word advocate Madeline Ravens spent time in the UC on Friday trying to get passersby to sign a petition.
It's a campaign to get people to use more inclusive language, cut out use of the word retarded. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm getting people to sign my pledge, and then I'm going to update those online and get people all the pledges online, so Special Olympics will know who's from UNC supporting their cause. And then I've got little cards that kind of explain the pledge.
Many students stopped to sign the petition and learn more about the cause, including this Bear News reporter. Anyone who signed got either a t-shirt or a bracelet. You could also snag an iPledge sticker. Students showed their support and made the pledge to spread the word to end the word. I'm Becca Heath, Bear News.
If you missed the booth and would still like to take the pledge to stop using the R word, visit r-word.org.
Earth Week takes over UNC with featured events every day during the annual event. One of these events was the 5th annual Shred Fest.
With the ever-increasing risk of identity theft and fraud, it is important to be careful with those old documents that contain valuable information. You don't want your name, date of birth, or social security number to fall into the wrong hands. Coordinator of the event, Forrest Swick, tells us what Shredfest is all about.
What we do is we take people's secure documents and personal information, and we give them an opportunity to not have it at home. Bring it in here and we shred it.
Conveniently set up in the southeast corner of the UC parking lot, UNC staff and students dropped off the old papers as they drove by. Those who took advantage of the opportunity were also eligible to enter a drawing for a $50 gift certificate from the College Credit Union. UNC Information Management and Technology and the College Credit Union worked together for Shredfest. Marketing manager Drew Giffen tells us how these two groups joined forces to put on this event.
There's quite a few people that work at the university that are part of the credit union, so it just was a thing that a few people got together and said, this is something we should do, and we're doing it, we said we could sponsor.
At the end of the day, a total of 63 people came out to shred their old documents, resulting in a good turnout. Reporting from the University Center, I'm Giovanni Rodriguez, Bear News.
The name Shredfest made this event sound a little more exciting than it really was, but still provided a good service for the community.
Well, the semester is just about over and everyone has summer fever and is more than ready for the warm weather. Is Mother Nature going to give us some sunny days during finals week? Bear News meteorologist Paul Ford has our first look at weather to let us know. Paul?
Thanks, Kristen. I've had summer fever since like the day after Christmas. Now, we might not be having some summer weather right now, but it is some nice spring weather with temperatures around 55 degrees. Unfortunately, we're getting some 13-mile-per-hour winds, which is a little better than those 20 to 30-mile-per-hour gusts we have been getting over the past couple days. But the high earlier today was around 59 degrees, not as bad as our low this morning, around 6 this morning at about 36 degrees, which is both are a bit below average. But if you don't remember this, 1 year ago today in 2013, we had snow today. So if you're upset about that wind, don't be, because it's quite nice out here. And coming up though, I'll give you a look around the country and I've got your graduation forecast. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Paul. Coming up after the break, we'll find out what talented artists are doing around campus.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
I'm sure you have all heard of Frozen by now. If you haven't actually seen the movie, I'm sure you have seen some trending video about one of the songs. While most people have already seen the film, if you are one of the ones still contemplating if you should jump on the Frozen bandwagon, Bear News entertainment reporter Karina Herrera has a review to help you decide.
That's right, if you haven't heard the phrase, do you want to build a snowman, you're missing out on Disney's latest stunning big screen comedy adventure. Featuring the voices of Kirsten Bell and Dina Menzel, Disney's award-winning Frozen is the trendiest comedy adventure to ever hit the big screen. The film tells the story of Anna, a fearless princess who sets off on an epic journey alongside a thrill-seeking mountain man and his sidekick reindeer to find her lost sister, Queen Elsa, whose icy powers have unintentionally trapped the kingdom in eternal winter. Los Angeles Times declares Frozen as a welcome return to greatness for Walt Disney Animation Studios. According to Forbes.com, this animated film grossed $1 billion worldwide about a month ago and continues to move higher up the all-time grossers list. Rotten Tomatoes website gives this Winter Wonderland family film an 89 and says it adds another worthy entry to the Disney canon. You may now catch Frozen available on DVD and Blu-ray.
Thanks, Karina. Do you prefer life in colors or in black and white? When it comes to holding a camera, UNC students are talented at both types of photography. The exhibition on Monday was an occasion to admire the work of photography majors and minors here at UNC. It was also an invitation inside the artist's world. Bear News reporter Estelle Paget gives an inside look through the lens of these talented bears.
The tight hallways of the art annex overflow with the colorful students' shots, whether it is landscapes, urban areas, or photos for advertisements and magazines. The exhibitors are proud to show their portfolio or printed series. But no need to take advanced photography classes and be familiar with the lighting studio or the darkroom to be a part of this exhibition. The amateur students did an impressive job.
In this particular room are the intro. It's just the introduction class, and they were told to do a series of their choice. So some of them chose a very personal story, like Caitlin's up here is a very personal story. Some just chose a topic where she did colors, and that became her choice.
I wanted to start off as the ballerina in a music box. So I kind of wanted to do that as like the idealized version of a ballerina that every little girl wants to be when they start dance classes. So it's the more positive, exciting, kind of idealized side of it. This one I was actually really hesitant about putting in. It's just like a very honest, like personal side of it, I guess. A lot of dancers struggle with body image and weight and things like that.
For the most skilled artist, the next room reaches a level above with the black and white pictures. Reporting from the Art Annex, I'm Estelle Plaguet, Bear News.
If you're still in need of a graduation pictures, you might want to contact one of these students.
Photography isn't the only special talent we have here at UNC. There are also many talented art majors around campus. From April 28th until May 5th, the UC is hosting an art sale. At the sale, you can find handmade art by UNC's own students. The sale includes ceramics, photographs, and paintings. Whoever is interested will be able to purchase artwork starting at $10 and going up to $60. If you want to come by and support your fellow Bears, the sale is open to the public from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
A local hair salon is turning heads by cutting costs and raising self-confidence. Bear News reporter Emily Goggins gives us a sneak peek into the salon to tell us how customers are walking in and leaving rich.
Or call to make an appointment.
Yeah, 115's open. All right, we'll see you then.
On the top of the hill of Reservoir Road and 23rd Avenue, you'll find Richie Rich Salon. Master hair designer and owner Richard Mariani is getting his name out on the streets now, but he started out with just a lawn chair. His goal is to rinse away hairstylist phobia by highlighting natural beauty and increasing education.
By teaching them how to do their hair, it's like teaching someone how to fish. You can give someone a fish and feed them, but I rather teach them how to fish, and that's what I do with hair, is teach them how.
Working hand in hand with his two daughters, the Mariani family recognizes that if you want to look good, it shouldn't cost a fortune. That's why they're the cheapest place in town.
Yeah, he didn't want people to come in and feel like they had to spend all of their money and then have a haircut, but they don't have any money to go out. So what he did was he put the prices at $8 so that way people could get a haircut and walk out feeling Richie Rich. So that's awesome.
The salon offers full hair services for any occasion. You can get your nails painted, browse through handmade crafts, or take a stroll through the meditation garden. Once patrons exit Richie Rich, they leave feeling just a little bit richer.
These are young people that are trying to make an impression on a future. And if their self-esteem is lacking by their appearance, by all means, please come down and let me, bring forth that person that they always knew they could be.
In Greeley, Emily Goggins, Bear News.
Richard hopes to eventually connect the salon with UNC's theater program down the road and offer customers his own product line.
Paul, you promised us a look at the graduation forecast. So what's the weather going to look like for our graduating seniors?
Well, Becca, we're about 9 days away from graduation right now. And as of right now, it's looking quite nice, but I won't spoil all the details because I'll give you those in just about 60 seconds. Welcome back to Bear News. I'm meteorologist Paul Ford. Right now, we're going to take a look around the country right now. You can see that cold front that was heading through the east, giving us tornadic activity over in the Carolinas area, is slowly, finally moving off to the east right now into the Pacific Ocean, into the Atlantic Ocean. Excuse me. We're seeing severe weather slowly tapering off. But as we head over to the west right now, we've got all these nice and beautiful high pressure systems, which is going to be nothing but good for us. If we look around the temperatures around the country right now, we've got 50s and 60s throughout the Midwest. If you head farther to the west right now, we've got some 70s and 80s throughout California, even some 90s if you're in San Diego right now. And guess what? That's pushing our way. If we take a look at the radar around Colorado right now, we've got some clear skies, which is quite nice right now. We've got a couple clouds here and there, but otherwise it's beautiful weather. If you're down to the south near the Grand Junction area, though, you might be getting a couple showers here and there. If we look at the lows for tonight, we've got some 30s, around the state right now. We've got 38 in Denver, 36 in Colorado Springs, some 27 degrees. And if you're in the mountain areas, we'll be seeing temperatures in the mid-20s. Now, if we look at tonight's forecast, we're going to see temperatures drop down to about 51 degrees tonight at around 7 o'clock, and it will just continue to drop as we head into midnight, but luckily we've got some clear skies. Watch out for those winds, though. We're seeing them picking up around midnight tonight to about 20 miles per hour, and as we head into 7 in the morning, we're going to see temperatures drop down to 36 degrees for your morning commute. As we look off into the weekend forecast, we're going to see 76 on Friday and clear skies. It's looking beautiful there, and it's just going to get warmer. On Saturday, we're going to see temperatures rise to about 81 degrees and 86 degrees on Sunday. Looking forward to that. Our 5-day forecast will see temperatures stay in the 80s into Monday. We're going to see a couple clouds roll in, which will eventually lead to a few showers on Wednesday into Thursday. We're just going to see some scattered rain showers, where it's going to be around temperatures in the mid-60s. But then Friday, those should taper off, and we should see some sunny skies with 69 degrees. As for graduation, we're seeing some partly cloudy skies, some wind, so watch out for that. Hold on to your caps. We're going to see the high around that day be around 68 degrees. Around the start time, around 10 a.m. for graduation, we're going to see temperatures around 60 degrees. So maybe bring a light jacket, especially if you get there around 8:30 to 9 o'clock as they advise you to do. But otherwise, we're looking at a beautiful day for our seniors. Now we're going to toss it off to Rachel Turnock with the sports.
Thanks, Paul. 2 UNC sports teams are off to the playoffs real soon. Find out which teams after the break. Spring weather is finally here, and so is the UNC football team to play their annual intra-squad spring scrimmage. It was a beautiful day on April 26 as students came out to watch the Bears offense take on their own defense. It was a chance for Sean Rubacaba and redshirt freshman Brant Berglund to show what they could do at the quarterback position. Rubacaba was able to get the offense going after a slow first quarter. He had a good day, completing over 60% of his passes and did not commit any turnovers. Not to be outdone, Berglund showed what he could do with his feet as he scrambles to pick up a 4th down conversion. In the end, the offense was able to squeak out a win against the defense, 53-52. Each year before the spring football game, the Blue and Gold Club hosts the UNC Women's Walk. This year marked the 6th annual Women's Walk in Butler Hancock Sports Pavilion. UNC female athletes helped out at the event by running the registration booth and handing out t-shirts to participants. The participants then took a 30-minute walk around West Campus where the UNC football team cheered them on. The walk helps raise money for women's athletic scholarships. Anyone can donate to help benefit women's athletics at www.uncalumni.org/events. Could a day off in between games 2 and 3 help the UNC baseball team get one weekend win against Utah Valley on April 27th? This game was cut short to 7 innings, and that was not in favor of the Bears. The one run for UNC happened in only the 3rd inning from shortstop Ryan Yamani to score first baseman Colby Harrison. The 5-run innings in the 4th and 6th for Utah Valley brought them up to a big lead. The Wolverines out-hit the Bears 12-3, and both teams each had 1 error. Final score in this one, Utah Valley 12 and UNC 1. The Bears welcome Cal State University Bakersfield to Jackson Field this weekend for a series starting May 2nd. In order to clinch a spot in the Big Sky tournament, the UNC softball team needed to win last weekend's series against North Dakota. Did they do just that? After winning 10-6 the first game and 10-2 the second game, the Bears definitely did not hold back for the final weekend game. How about 21-7 for a UNC win? You heard that right. The Bears out-hit North Dakota 18-8. Erica Dick and Michaela Duffy both hit a grand slam in the top of the 7th to contribute to an 11-run inning. Duffy went 5 for 6 with 7 RBI and 3 runs scored. With this 21-7 win, the Bears are off to the Big Sky tournament for the first time since joining the conference in 2006. UNC will host Southern Utah starting on May 2nd to finish up the regular season before heading to the tournament on May 9th. The UNC lacrosse team's season is going well for them so far and are the #1 seed in the playoffs. After clinching first place last week, the Bears took on the 3-6 School of Mines at home. The Bears started strong and never looked back. Seth Hayes led off the scoring for the Bears just 4 minutes into the game, followed by this goal from Chris Nolan. The Bears made the most, capitalizing on man advantages, getting this goal from Chris Midrill. The score was 5-1 after 1. The Bears opened the second quarter off with a beautiful save by Zach Goss and proceeded to get 4 goals, only allowing 2, 9-3 at the half. Chris Nolan took the game into his own hands in the second half, scoring 4 goals, 3 of which came in the third quarter, as well as getting an assist. He led the Bears with 6 points on the night. Clay Haverty extended his goal streak as well. The Bears travel to Grand Junction on Friday, May 2nd to play this Mines team again in the first round of the playoffs. A hot topic around the country is Northwestern University football players unionizing and the question, should college athletes be paid? Reporter Giovanni Rodriguez went to UNC football practice to get some players' perspective on the subject.
That could affect larger universities in the coming years, so I wanted to know what players here at UNC thought about the actions taken by the players over at Northwestern University.
I mean, I think it's great that the players and that the staff are all trying to come together. That's as much as any team can ask for, regardless of what the motivation is, you know. As long as they're coming together as a team and it's not individuals trying to come up and be bigger than the program, you know, I support it.
So what about the issue at its core? Should college athletes be paid?
I think some college athletes should be paid. I don't think smaller schools, smaller universities necessarily should be paid.
It's hard for a football player to say it because I'm not on the other side of the spectrum, whereas, you know, some of the lesser revenue bringing in sports like the swim team and stuff like that, even though they are phenomenal athletes, you know what I'm saying, it's just the amount of people they can get into that arena, you know, it's not the same as a football stadium. We do put in enough effort and we do put in so many hours behind the scenes that no one sees that I think we deserve a little bit of compensation for that.
Fact is, college athletes spend a lot of extra time dedicated to their sport and have busy schedules because of it.
Wake up at 8:30, eat breakfast. I got class from 9:30 to 1:45. After that, I come straight to meetings from 2 to 3, and practice from 3 to 6, and then after this, I have a night class from 7 to 9:40. So it's a long day for me.
Some will argue that college athletes get the benefit of having scholarships and a free education. Is that really the case?
I'm not on a full scholarship. I'm only on a partial. So a lot of the other money that I have to pay for comes out of student loans.
It all depends what side of the field you are looking from. Reporting from the UNC practice fields, Giovanni Rodriguez, Bear News.
The players over at Northwestern voted on unionization last Friday. It'll definitely be interesting to see where things go from here.
Yeah, it's a very controversial topic that's pretty important and needs to be discussed.
I agree with that.
Definitely.
After the break, we'll let you know what venue is bringing the music scene to Greeley in a big way.
Stick around, we'll be right back in 60 seconds. Greeley's music scene is growing, and a large part of that has to do with Eli Corliss, owner of the Moxie. Bear News reporter Nathan Fusco finds out where and how the music magic happens.
The Moxie is located near the corner of 9th Street and 8th Avenue, right in the heart of downtown Greeley. I had a chance to sit down and talk to the man running the show, Eli Corliss, and ask him how it all began.
So in 2007, I started The Crew Presents, which is the concert promotion company that owns the Moxie and still works today. But in 2011, I started Bandwagon Magazine, which is a monthly publication here in Greeley, and we distribute 15,000 copies each month across northern Colorado, from Fort Collins to Greeley here, and even up in Cheyenne, because we get it printed up there.
Even with his success at the beginning, he didn't start off with the Moxie. No, he started off with a much smaller venue.
Year I found AF Rays, which was owned by a friend of mine, and I just started doing concerts there, and it really evolved over 4 years into me doing every Friday and Saturday night. We brought some huge acts into AF Rays, like even Grammatic played at AF Rays, and Meese and Tickle Me Pink were regulars, and Single File had a big show there. It was almost sold out, and things were going really well there, and that kind of allowed me, when the opportunity came here, when the Union Colony Dinner Theater building that we're in now at the Moxie closed down, it gave me the opportunity to convince the landlord that, you know, this space is meant to be a concert venue.
AF Rays had its issues, so Eli was always on the lookout for something bigger.
You know, we couldn't really close the doors for sound check because it was a bar, it was open. So when this opportunity came for the Moxie, it was really that next step. It was really like I can really start a concert venue.
The Moxie was the spot he was always looking for, with room for over 400, a bar, and an area where people can sit down, relax, and look at some local art. But don't be surprised if Eli finds something bigger and better.
I mean, this is what it is. It is, you know, I think expand the concerts, certainly. Maybe one day I'll be able to open a bigger room here in Colorado, in Greeley or the area.
Reporting from the Moxie, I'm Nathan Fusco, Bear News.
As the music scene becomes more prevalent, so does the talent. Keep an eye out as new bands emerge at the Moxie. Have you ever been to the Moxie?
No, I haven't, but I've been hearing a lot about this place here lately.
It's a really fun venue. You should go.
All right, I will.
Thanks for joining us on our final show of the semester. We want to congratulate all of the graduating seniors one more time. Those of us not graduating will be back in the fall.
Until then, stay up to date on our Facebook page and Twitter, Bear News 98. Have a great summer.